Hello there, YouTubers. This is another quick video. I don't know how I'm putting them on, but I just did the one, you know you should buy it if. So here's another one. I think I might try to start every one of my videos out now. You know you should buy it if it won't fit in the back of your pickup truck when you want to go get it. So that's my thing for today. This is, when I started YouTube a long time ago, it was to help people out and make things easier for them, or just show them the way I do it, to give them, put the bug in their head, this might not be such a bad idea. So I have a table here which is probably the most unconventional thing, and I don't think that this table would work for a lot of people, because I do firewood different than everybody else, but I tried to slow down the handling and making the handling easier and stop different things. And I'm also working with what I have, and if you don't have some of the pieces of equipment that I have, this might not be what you're into or what you can do. But you might, wood splitting evolves. It keeps getting better and better and better. And this, in my particular situation, it has. And I think in most people situations, I mean, if it didn't evolve, you'd probably still be splitting with a sledgehammer and a wedge. And then you got the wood splitter, and then you decide you need a faster wood splitter, then this and that and the other things. Most of your hang-ups is not in the wood splitter, it's in how you get it to and from the wood splitter. Now, I see everybody's buying elevators, and I had an elevator in the past, and it wasn't the elevator's good for a four-way wedge when everything passes through and you got to get rid of it, because if you get a big pile of firewood here, you can slow down. But then, like Chris at Chris in the wood yard, okay, he moves the splitter around a lot because that's the way he has to do it. So the table probably wouldn't work for him. But it might, I have no idea. But it's something that's probably worth trying, and every person that I have suggested it to and has done it or set it up for them and done it, it goes, oh my gosh, this was a whole new chapter in my wood splitting thing. So I can't remember now I'm so senile, I should have, hard-working man. He's he's got a real good channel, him and his wife, okay, and they just got a table that they had made, and I should have written all this stuff down, but I didn't. But go watch his channel, Hard-Working Man, and he'll give you all the specs on it. Anyhow, when I made this table, I went through emails to Andrew at Easton Made and Chris at Wolf Widge, and they both kind of just passed it off. You're an idiot, you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, okay, I'm fine with that, because I kind of out there on this kind of stuff. But like I said, anybody that's put the table in goes, oh wow, what a game changer. Now, the table that the hard-working man just had made for him by a new wood splitting company, or maybe an old wood splitting company, you'll have to go find out all the facts on that. But this guy took the time to make a table, and it's absolutely a gorgeous table, but it wouldn't fit in for me here, okay? And I'll show you now. This is a prototype, and they didn't, you know, they can, if he wants to get with me, the guy that's making it, you know, I'd be more than help. That's what YouTube's all about, is helping people. And so I'd help him if he does, and that's up to him whether he wants to contact me through email, which you can email me anytime, frickinjeep@hotmail.com. Sometimes they come in, sometimes they don't come in. Frickin' Jeep is the name of the channel, and then you just got to put @hotmail.com. And if you ever had a question or need some help or want something, and if I can help you, I want to. That's the whole point. Here comes another airplane, which I mentioned something in the last video. No, that sounds more like a helicopter. It seems like everybody in the world wants to fly over right now. Anyhow, that table that they made, here's some of the things that I don't care about that table. I'm not saying it's a bad table. I'm just saying, when this table was set up, now I have $20 in this table. Okay, this was a used piece of thing that you can pick up at auctions. There was a gentleman that had it that I got that from for $20, and it's a big cast stand. Okay, and what I tried to do with this table here, which the wood splitter kind of is in the way, which once again, you know how always prepared I am. I can't undo this. Not, well, uh-oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at that. You guys know what that is? Anyhow, anybody knows what that is? That's a piece of black walnut. I'm gonna set you on a stand. I'll do that knot. It's gotten so dried and what do you call it? Just, I guess, dried, wet, cool, dried, wet, cool. It's just gotten where I can't undo it with one hand. Because I'm always so prepared. This is the old time wood splitter. Now, if you're new here, I've been splitting wood. I made this wood splitter back in the 70s. So it's been around for a while. And it's gotten better and better. And there was a time where I didn't have the table and I didn't have the tractor and I didn't have all that stuff. I just parked this thing next to the wood pile and go at it from there. Now I can't get the camera to go down. Go at it from there. And as the wood pushed off, it would just push the splitter back. So that worked fine. The front nose of this splitter is so heavy that there's a hydraulic cylinder back there that picks it up. And it's extremely fast if you've seen it in the past. But what makes this table so good, because that's what this video is all about, I'm Allison Restauranting, is it's level with this. See? This is pretty much level. And it hits there, which turns out good because as I'm sliding stuff over, this gap here drops a lot of the trash down in there, so I don't get as much of the trash. Okay, now I split with a single way wedge, and if it wasn't so muddy down here, which it's dried up today, I might be able to give a better demonstration of it tomorrow. But I can split and throw those things down. Now what makes this table good is it comes all the way back here. It starts back at the back. Number two, it's level. Number three, it comes way out here, so the pieces, after they come by and fall off, if the table only comes to here, it's going to fall on the ground. So this table, I'll get a measurement of it just for the heck of it. But every splitter is going to be different. You know, I think there's measurements on there now that I think about it. I'll bet there's, because I've measured it before. This thing is, there it is, 58 by 36, I think. 38 and a half, 59. That's the size of it. It's an inch plate, road plate. But we've made them out of wood. I had another one that I made out of wood, and it works. But when the one that Hard-Working Man has, the gentleman that made it, which it's a beautiful piece, okay, don't get me wrong, but why it would not work here, it's got pieces that come up here at the edge, and it funnels, it's way too high, okay. It has, on the back here, it has what appears to be maybe a 6-inch height here, and on the two sides, which it holds your wood, so if you come in and dump it. I don't come in and dump my wood, guys. I have that big green bucket, and I leave it all in, and I set the bucket so it comes about here. Then none of the wood falls off this way. It gets it close. I don't have to jockey it around on the table. It's just all in a neat pile. You know, it's a lot easier stacking wood that's already been stacked than it is stacking wood that is just dumped. I don't know how to explain that. But with his, he can't set that bucket right on top of there. Now, what I think on the, you know, I'm making another wood splitter, which it might, who knows when I'll be finished with it. I go from thing to thing to thing. So if you had a log table or a log lift down here, okay, if you took your log lift, if I get a pencil, which we got pencils over here. Now, a log lift is good if that's what you got to have, but you know, a lot of times, say your log lift is, I can't see, coming and done drawing that. Well, we're once again very prepared, so that ain't happening. That's something that ain't happening. I got a piece of paper in here. I got all sorts of stuff in here. Say if you're looking at the end of your wood splitter And it's got, here's your I-beam, here's your wedge, okay? I don't know if you can draw a wedge like that. Here's your I-beam. Here's your log lift coming down like this, and it's got this on there, okay? And you got a hydraulic cylinder probably of some sort or something raising it up here. If you take this piece off right here, okay, and make it so you can get square tubing that fits inside square tubing and then just put a bolt through it or a pin through it. So have this piece go on and off as needed. Now if you raise this thing up to where it's this way, okay, and then it has a leg down, okay, so you have another square piece here or something like that that rolls up. So this just folds down, you have a square piece, so that makes a sturdy leg. That thing's making noises. You could just come in here and set your bucket. Now if you're looking down on this thing and here's your wedge, make your log lift the whole size, okay? Make it, okay, if here's the end of your I-beam, there's your wedge, there's the end of your I-beam, here's your cylinder, something like that. I'm not real good at drawing. But make this thing so it's this, your log lift thing is the whole size of all this, okay? And make it flat. Have a leg underneath here and here. You could still have your hydraulic, and now have this little wing piece that's on it here, okay? So if it's down like, well, if it's backwards, I'm not good at explaining things. That's why that's probably why Andrew and Chris didn't think anything. Okay, have this piece go across this whole thing, and it just goes in with 3 tubes inside. Put a pin there, and the other's just for holding it, so you don't need a pin in there. It just won't come out. So then you still have this piece in the back, but it would be from here all the way back down to there, if you follow that. And then you have a big table. So if you want to use the log lift, use the log lift. If you don't want to use a log lift and you want to use it as a table, raise that thing up. Make the table a table that's usable. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. The prototype that they made was just too tall. I did like Hard Working Man. It was neat. He had that on there, and I go, when I started putting those on there, I go, what in the world am I going to do? You know, when I cut all those out, what am I going to do with those? I have a pile in the back, and then all of a sudden, hey, that's the best guard in the world. So I thought he did real good at that. I like that. But that's how this table works. And I think on the new wood splitter, I'm making the table the same size as this. This is a perfect size table. You've got your piece coming out here. So if you have, where's my tape? You have this is 2 foot past there. So if you have a piece comes down here, it's going to fall here. If you have your bucket stop here, then you got plenty of room for that to go. Look at these guys with the log lifts. How many people run the log lift up, break the big monsters in half, and then half of it falls on the floor, and then you got to go pick it up again. The wood splitter merry-go-round is what I was trying to stop. Now I put everything right into crates, which is something some people do. Some people it wouldn't work for a lot of people, okay, because they're just selling too many cords of wood to put all their wood in crates. But that's kind of what I'm trying to get across to. I don't remember his name because I'm senile. Here comes another helicopter. Must be helicopter day. That table would work a lot better for him, okay, if he got it lowered down and made it flat so he could just set his whole bucket right there and pull right off the bucket onto the table. And another reason I do that is I don't saw daggone helicopters. Now that sounds like an airplane. I do all my sawing most of the time or cutting the rounds over here, okay? And after I cut for a while, I'll have a big pile of sawdust, and I saw off the forks of my machine so I don't have to bend over as much as possible. Sometimes it's inevitable. You're going to move wood, you're going to roll over, you're going to do this and do that. There's always an exception to the rule, but most of the time I saw off the forks of my Bobcat. All that mess, all this mess stays over here. And then I put the logs and rounds and whatever, once they're down to a size I can handle, they go into that green bucket and then they set on the table and I can pull them off. So I'm not going around. You don't saw one round and then go split it. So why load one log and then go split it, or 2 logs and go split it? Doesn't make good sense to me, but everybody's got their own way of doing it. What else was I going to say? Oh, when I load these up, some of these are too big for me to even handle. Some of them go into the chunks and hunks pile like these shorter ones. And it doesn't matter, the boiler will take any of it, but I try to keep it all about 17, 18 inches because I've been doing wood for so many years. The 17, 18 inches, nobody even sold firewood back when I started. And nobody measured it, and now everybody measures it. It's funny because a long time ago when I got started, I'd measure my firewood, and everybody goes, "When are you measuring your firewood? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard of." I never heard of that. And now everybody measures their firewood, which is kind of funny. I laugh at that. But anyhow, what I try to do is, see the small one there? I can pick those rounds up. This one here, I might be able to pick those up. I kind of don't think so. That's white oak. These are white oak also, so I probably won't be able to pick them up. But that small one I can, and that one down there and that one there, I'll be able to pick up those pieces. And what I do is I'll stack them up. Now this has all been in past videos. If you want to review some of the past videos, I'm closing in on 1,000 videos. But I roll them, I stand them up in here, okay? I stand them up, okay? Because then this bucket is, I don't know, 36 inches, and then they can hang off a little bit. So I can get generally 2 rows in here, or 2 rounds front and back, and then between this part and this part I stack the lighter ones that I can pick up in there. So I get a full round, and I can get if I stack it up good and got a good stacking and they stack good, I can get 1/4 of a cord in that bucket. And I'm all loading from one area. So I set the bucket down and drag them all. I'm not walking around going all over meanders, because if you have a log lift, maybe your first row of logs is here, but your second row of logs is over there. Then your third row of logs is over there, or further back, or further back, or further back, and that means more walking, more walking, more walking. Your time that's chewing you up is not the wood splitter. Your time is loading the wood, unloading the wood, loading the wood, getting it away from the wood splitter, that kind of stuff. So that's about it on this. If you want to see this thing running, there's a lot of past videos if you're new here on this thing running and using the table, and you can see it's pretty daggone fast. And I think Hardworking Man, that's a good channel. Go check it out. The two of them really do a good job. And check out the table that he had made. That thing is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. It's a prototype, so you got to work the bugs out of a prototype. I'm not working on the same thing I started with. I'm working on different things. So that's I don't know how to write him, I don't know how to tell him, and I don't know his phone number. And so the easiest thing for me to do is put it out here on YouTube, because that's really why I started the channel, is to help everybody out, or show them ideas, or what I see, positive or negative, which I try not to leave too many negatives, but sometimes it just turns out that way. So that's an easy table, simple table. One of my other tables, or this might even been my first table, this wooden one, and it's kind of deteriorated after the years. This came all the way up, the wedge was right here, and this table came out all the way here. That's how big this one was. So and it worked for many years, but the steel one works better. And it's very heavy and it doesn't move. But if you would incorporate your log lift into your thing, that was another thing. When he was stacking them up, okay, he was lifting them up a lot higher, because it had that 6-inch 6-inch thing here, or whatever height it is. He had to pick it up over that. That's more energy. You don't, save your energy. It just, you might, I don't know. It's up to you. Do it the way you want. Just some suggestions. And now we're heading back to, I'm going to do another quick video of back at the old sawmill. I don't know what order these are going on or whatever and stuff like that. So anyhow, I'm glad you stopped by. Just trying to get some content out there. Now I'm going to go back and jabber from the old sawmill, little sawmill. Thanks for stopping. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment in down below what you think about the table method. It'd be interesting. You like the table? You don't like the table? Will it work for you? Will it not work for you? Might it work for you? Can you put your wood splitter in a dedicated place and just leave it there? Which is, everybody says, a few people said, well, it's in the way. All I got to do is come up with forks, pick it up, move it back, and then this thing is just the same as it was any place. Same as it was any place. But it's been here for quite a few years now. But if I need to move it, that's all I got to do is pick the table up. And if you've seen, I keep rambling on. If you've seen the big purple and orange wood splitter we made, that table on that particular splitter is 4 feet by 8 feet. Hydraulics up. So if you're sitting there and it's got legs, it might show where the legs come down and just stop. So that's kind of what the new splitter that I'm kind of designing, thinking through, and when I find a part, I'll buy it and slowly get it together. But putting a table like that is the hardest thing about this table was getting it here and level. So on that big wood splitter that we made that's in the past videos, okay, the table is hooked to the splitter and it's 4 feet by 8 feet and 1/2 inch thick. It's heavy, but that big splitter is a monster. If you haven't seen it, look for it in some of the past videos. I don't know how to hit the link, or I don't know how to put a link to it in the video, or I would do that. Sorry about that. It's just in some of the past videos. Anyhow, hit the like button, subscribe button, hit the bell icon if you want to see more nonsense of me rambling on. We'll see you later now. Bye-bye.